Hello folks, welcome to the channel Gyan Fusion. Curious to be curious. Before we jump right into the today's topic, I would like to request everyone to watch this video till the very end. Lot of efforts have been kept into this and I can assure you that your time is well spent. Today the topic is Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the subsequent event of Ukraine-Russia war. In this video, we will try to understand the dynamics which influenced this war. Before understanding what led to what and who is responsible, let's look back into the history to get a better glimpse of the relations between these nations through the course of time. For a long time in the timeline of history, Ukraine and Russia both shared a common history. This common legacy have its roots dating back to more than 1000 years ago when the first Slavic state of Kievan Rus has been established, which encompasses today's Russia, Ukraine and Belarus geographical territories. In more recent times, when the Russian Empire was established in 1721, Ukraine was one of the territory under that Russian Empire and Russian Empire has ruled across the large parts of today's Eurasia. The territory of contemporary Ukraine became part of Russian Empire around 1973 after periods of rule of Ukraine under the Mongols, the Poles and Lithuanians. In 1918, a year after Russia's communist revolution, which with the aid of the World War I turmoil ended the centuries-long autocratic rule. Collapse of the Russian Empire led to the establishment of Soviet Union. Once the Russian Empire monarchy ended, Ukraine declared itself as independent, but this independence didn't last long. In 1921, the Red Army conquered it and Ukraine now became a republic but under the Russia-Soviet Union control. The Ukraine urge for a national identity got intensified in the 1930s when Soviet policies punishing farmers in the Ukraine who resisted mandates to adopt collectivized farming practices, which produced the man-made famine known as Holodomor, which killed an estimated 7 million people there. Ukraine regained its independence in 1991 with the collapse of Soviet Union due to popularizing of democratic ideas and backlash of masses against communist principles. Now coming to the reasons of such a bold step by Russia to invade and bring a war to an independent nation in this era of ultra-globalized interdependent world and high-tech warfare with nuclear capabilities where end of world is literally a click away. Since we got a picture of how these two nations' relations were from looking into the history, one thing is clear. Russia always wanted to rule Ukraine and Ukraine wanted to stay independent. More or less, this conflict of interest is still visible. On many occasions, Vladimir Putin, the current president of Russia, has expressed his views openly that Russia don't consider Ukraine as an independent nation and it is still a part of Russia itself. Imagine your country president making such declarations on your neighboring nations, and that imagination itself can give you the feel of how intense the relationships are between these two nations. At the heart of the current crisis between Russia and Ukraine is NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a group of 30 countries including the US, UK, France and Germany. Ukraine wants to join this group of which the United States, the arch rival of Russia, is a part. The NATO too is open to make Ukraine its member, which has irked the Russia big time. Russia doesn't want NATO to allow Ukraine to become its member as it will expand the group's footprints in its borders. The other big reason is that a member country of NATO will be eligible for collective support by all members in case of any external attack. The timeline of conflicting relationships. Apart from the more prominent issues like the conflicting history and NATO card, There have been many conflicts through the timeline of history since Ukraine got independent in 1991. Starting from the independence of Ukraine in 1991, Russia remained as the only successor of Soviet Union, and the design to integrate all the separated territories of Soviet Union, including the Ukraine, is still alive. Even it's a major motivation for this war. Within a span of 13 years since Ukraine gained its independence, a new revolution has broke down. This revolution is called as Orange Revolution. The reason for this upspringing is rigged election of Russian-backed Viktor Yanukovych to the chair of Ukraine presidency. In 2008, Ukraine has officially applied for NATO membership, which has intensified the relationships between the nations further. In 2010, the Russian-backed Yanukovych got elected as president of Ukraine. In 2012, Ukraine and EU drafted an agreement to foster closer ties, and the president of the nation, the Russian bank Yanukovych, has rejected the deal. And this action led to a mass protest, and this protest led to the overthrowing of the Yanukovych from the president chair. All these situations, events, and prolonged intense relationship have led to this war. I hope this video served the thumbnail and title. In future, we'll bring a video detailing the consequences of this war experienced by both the nations and world collectively. Till then, stay safe. Thank you.